you're good. I trust that you're good. If you're new here, if you're seeing my face for the first time, my name is Chinazo Eze, or Nazo Eze, as the name of my channel implies. And this is my YouTube channel. You're highly welcome. Thank you for clicking on that thumbnail. Thank you for clicking on my video, for coming in to watch my video. And my old subscribers, thank you so much once again for coming back. You're already used to this face by now. You know my name and everything. You're practically family. I wish I can give you a big squishy hug. Thank you for tuning in once more. So guys, today is like, you know, apparently this is not a vlog. It's a sit-down video, and this is like a story time video. I'm going to be telling you stories. The title of my video says Stories of House Helps Past. First of all, before I start, I want to say something, because you know, I don't know if it is the lockdown or what. Human beings now are just very sensitive. They get very sensitive. You have to be careful the things you say and the terms you use to refer to people. Now, I want to make something clear. The word, or rather the term house help, it is not a derogatory word. I say this because when I see some certain posts online, people tend to take offense to the way people refer to their domestic staff. House help is actually a very civil word, if you ask me. It's actually a very civil term to use, as opposed to servant or slave. House help, shebi, the person is helping you in your house. You employ the person to help you in your house. Does that not describe the word house help? Well, personally, I don't see anything wrong with using the word house help. It is like a job description. No, sorry, it's like a job title. That is the job title, house help, right? Okay, we know that back in Nigeria, house helps or domestic staff is a common thing. People employ domestic staff to live with them and work for them, and at the end of the month they get paid. Now, growing up, my family always had house helps living with us, not less than 2 at a time. You know how it is when we traveled to the village for Christmas, and when we were coming back to Lagos, people living in the village will bring their daughters or their sons to us, saying that we should take them along with us to Lagos, and that my parents should help them train them. Not just my parents. It happened with most households. I'm sure most of you listening to me now, it happened to you as well. That is why we're always coming back with young girls and young guys to live with us and help us out around the house. And then the boys used to go to the shop. They call them boy, like apprentice for the businessmen. So because of that, we always had an abundance of house helps. We never had less than 2 at a time. When I got married, I decided to employ one. Not that I couldn't live without one, but I felt I needed a house help for 3 reasons. Number 1, my husband built a very big house back home in Nigeria. That house was so big that I couldn't clean it by myself. I tried. I did it for some time, but it was so stressful, and I knew that I had to employ someone to help me with it. So I had to employ a house help to help me with the cleaning. And then the second reason why I employed a house help was that I started having babies, and I was also working. I was self-employed. I had a makeup studio then. So I was also working, and it was stressful for me to be working and caring for my baby at the same time. So I needed a help to help me watch my baby while I went to work. Then the third reason why I needed a help was that because our house was huge and my husband was basically out of the country most of the time, I couldn't stay there alone with my kids. I needed company. So those are the 3 reasons why I had to employ a house help. I know that there are women that don't want house help. They just decided that they do not want to have any house help because of fear of what the house helps might do. Because yes, there are good ones and there are still bad ones. There are terrible stories. In fact, the main essence of this video is for me to tell you the stories of the house helps past, as in what I encountered, what I went through in the hands of some of them. So these women that decide not to have house help, they do that for two reasons. One is the reason I just mentioned, that they are scared. Secondly, some of them want to have, but their husbands insist that they will not have one. But me, I am not one of those women that decided not to have. I knew that I needed help. I was not ashamed to ask for help because I did not want that stress, so that I will come and start looking older than my husband or where. So back to my story. I cannot remember how many house helps I had back in Nigeria. I had a lot of them, like a lot. In fact, it began to worry me at a point because they were just coming in and going, and you know that they are practically strangers. We get them through different agents. Even though I had one particular agent that I used for over 10 years, he was the one that was now bringing them to me. Now, they are basically strangers. All we know is that the agent brought them. Sometimes we don't even know their family members, even though I tried as much as I could to get to know some of them and their family as well. I don't even think any of them lasted up to a year, and it's usually because of different reasons. Some of them had to go back to school. Some of them, okay, those ones that had to go back to school, they were just working to raise money. They just wanted to work and then get paid to save money for them to go back to school. And then when they felt like they had saved enough money, they had to go. That was our agreement. And then some of them came and then they told me that they will be here for a particular amount, a particular number of months. And then when the number of months were up, they left. Then some of them stole from me. Some of them were insubordinate. Some of them were just stubborn. And some of them were possessed, like Rishi. All I know is that there was one thing I used to do. Whenever I needed a house help, when I called the agents, before I called the agent, I just pray to God that whoever is coming to my house, if this person is evil or have evil intentions, let my house be too hot for the person to stay. So that was a major prayer point I used to pray then, whenever I wanted to call the agent to bring a house help for me, or even after calling the agent and he's searching for someone, I used to pray that prayer point, and I believe it used to work for me. This is why. So there's this particular one. Her name was Joy. So when this Joy came and started working with me, I don't know, I just felt that there was something off about her, but I couldn't place a finger on what it was. I just knew that my spirit was not really comfortable with her. So I was just watching to know what it was. And then when I couldn't see anything, I just prayed and told God that there is something about this girl that I'm not comfortable with. My spirit does not accept. Please show me, tell me what it is, reveal whatever it is to me. I prayed this prayer one night and then I slept. And then the next morning, my little cousins that were staying with me at the time, now came to me and told me that, Auntie, that there is something we want to tell you about Auntie Joy. And I was like, it has happened. What happened? What did she do? They now told me that they were there in the kitchen with her. And then she was cleaning, and then she suddenly said something to them, that she told them that if I annoy her again, because the night before that morning, she did something and I just shouted at her. I think I corrected her, Sha. I can't remember if I shouted, but apparently she did not like it. And then she told my cousins that if I annoy her one more time, that she's going to stab me with a knife and then run away. So when she said that to them, they were shocked, like, why is Auntie saying this to us? And they now came upstairs and told me what she said. And when they told me, I was wondering, has she forgotten that these girls are my cousins? Doesn't she know they would tell me? And then immediately that thought came to my mind. Something else said to me that she didn't know when she confessed. You know, in Igbo they call it madinasa, like she's confessing to something. She didn't even know when it came out of her mouth. Like God made her confess. And she didn't know when. I don't know how else to explain it, Sha. So the thought came to my mind that she didn't know when she said it. That God just revealed her plans to me. Immediately, I heard that. I called the agent and asked him, Biku, Mr. John, where are you? He said he's at he was at, I think, Ibadan or Abiyu. I don't know where. He said he traveled out of the state, that he will be back that day. I told him that you have to come as soon as, in fact, you have to come today, because this girl is not sleeping in my house. He said, what happened? I said, when you come, I'll tell you. So when he came, I told him that, look at what she said. She can't sleep here. And then, meanwhile, I didn't even tell her anything, no. So when I now went and told her that she had to pack and go with Mr. John, she was like, I'm sorry, madam, what did she do? Is it because of what happened last night? I said, no, you have to go. And then I told her that this is what you said to my cousins. Do you know this girl did not even know she said that? She was acting clueless, like, how? When did she say such a thing? My cousin said, you said it. That was why it was clear to me that she didn't even know when she confessed. So that prayer, I told you guys that I normally pray. It actually works for me. Okay, see how it worked in this instant now. And she had to leave. She had to go. And then the agent was telling her that you don't talk to people in that manner. That is a threat to life. You're threatening someone's life. You don't say things like that. But the girl did not even know that she even said something like that. So that was how Joy left. She didn't even stay up to 2 months. She didn't stay up to 2 months. Then there was another one called Mercy. So Mercy, apart from the fact that she was very dirty, Mercy, when she came, I was newly pregnant with my second baby, and that pregnancy was kind of high risk. So I was placed on bed rest. I think I was about 10-11 weeks pregnant then. So I was placed on strict bed rest for 2 weeks. So I was instructed by the doctor that the only time I should come down from my bed was just to pee. Or in other words, I was supposed to be in bed from morning till night for 2 weeks. So this girl now took advantage of the fact that Madam doesn't come downstairs anymore. And then she decided to be inviting men into my house without my knowledge. Not in the main house, in the boys' quarters, because I had a BQ at the back of the house. And my house had 3 big gates. So she used to bring them in through the back gates. My security man was the one who busted her. Who reported, because he was scared of reporting at first, because when he reports things to her, to me, she stops giving him food. So that time he couldn't bear it anymore, and he came to tell me that he needed to tell me something, that this girl keeps bringing men, taxi drivers, her boyfriends used to come to the front of the house, the back of the house, and then she would take them into one of the rooms in the boys' quarters. And after their romp and everything, she would sneak him out again. So when he told me that, I told her, she couldn't even deny it. So that was the end of Mercy's stay in my house. There was another one called Blessing. So Blessing was possessed. So I took her, one day we went to church, just normal Sunday service, so, and just her and my kids. My husband was around then, so we went to church that day, and that day was anointing service. So everybody, we were all going to the altar for the pastor to anoint us. So when it was her turn, they anointed her. Immediately, before the pastor even touched her, she fell down and started rolling on the floor. So, you know, church now, the ushers took her to the office upstairs. So we waited after church. So the pastor called her, and then for a counseling session, that was where she confessed that she was possessed, that one man used to come and meet her in the night, not even in the dream, that she used to see the man physically. That one scared me so much. You know, whenever I hear stories like that, I tell them that they're going that day. They don't spend an extra night in my house. So that's how Blessing had to go. Then there's another one called Vera. Vera stole from me. Vera. And the annoying part is that most of the time you'll be as good as you can to them. I was so good to Vera. I used to dash her things, as I used to give her things and everything. And Vera, in fact, I was just disappointed because this girl was so pretty. This girl was so, this girl was just different. Like, she didn't even, she was just cool. Like, but I don't know, she was stealing from me. How did I know? All of a sudden, she changed. I don't know what came over her. She started being stubborn. She started doing things the way she wanted to do it and all that. Maybe because I wasn't really tough on her, so she was just misbehaving. And then one day, I think she went to the market or so. So I went to her room and I saw one of my earrings all these Swarovski crystal kind of earrings that I got on her table, and I was wondering how we got there. And then I was prompted to search her things, only for me to find out that she stole my gold wristwatch that my husband bought for me. She stole my mainly jewelry. She was just stealing my jewelry and hiding it. And those are the ones I saw, because I used to let her go to church somewhere else on Sundays. I don't know where she was going to church. I think I can't remember the name of the church, but she was going to a different church by herself on Sundays, and from there she would go and visit her sister. So I think she also took some things and took to her sister's house. But the ones that I saw, I was able to recover. But that was how she left my house, because she was busy stealing from me, while me, I was busy treating her good. She stole from me, and that was the end. Then there was another blessing. This one is the oldest house help I've ever had in my house. She was, in fact, older than me. But this woman was a lesbian. I didn't even know. How did I find out? My cousin that was living with me, she was 13 years at the time. This woman tried to molest her. My cousin had to report to me. When my cousin reported to me, I couldn't believe it. Like, why? And she didn't deny it, though. She actually agreed, and she was now trying to, you know, they like to blame it on evil spirits, that she doesn't know what happened and comes over her, that it is one of her former madams that made her, that turned her into a lesbian, that initiated, according to her, initiated her into lesbianism, that she didn't know what came over her, and then she now tried to molest my cousin. I was angry, like I was mad. I beat her. I will not lie. I beat this one, and I sent her out of my house that day, that very day, because I was livid. As in, I was so angry. As in, why? I beat her and I sent her out. And then after she left, some weeks later, she started sending me text messages apologizing and begging me, but I never replied any of them, because I just didn't want to hear from her anymore. That was the end. Then there was this one, 3 in fact, out of all the helps that used to come to my house. Most of them, whenever they are leaving, I used to know, is either I tell them that they are leaving, or we agreed that they will leave at this particular time, or that, as in, all I know is that I was always aware and we prepare for them to go. But 3 out of them ran away without me even knowing. The first one was Alice. Alice left my house as early as 4 a.m. one morning. I didn't know she was secretly packing her things. That's how I woke up in the morning, and Alice was nowhere to be found. The security man I had was new at that time, so she took advantage of the fact that the guy was still new and didn't really know how to do his job so well. And then she snuck out through that back gate and even left the gate wide open, and even left the door that the main house door that she passed, she left it wide open, left the gate wide open, and went. My house was open, and my house is on the main road. We did not know. It was in the morning that I woke up. I didn't see Alice. I went downstairs and I saw the gates wide open, my door wide open. God just saved us that night. And then I started panicking that where's Alice? So I had to go to the police station to make a police report that the girl that was living with me just left. I don't know where she went to. So I had to go and write a report and everything. Like after 2 days, her uncle called me that she has reached Jos. Oh my God. What happened? I don't know. She just got up one day and decided to go. Now, the second person that did that thing was Helen. Helen packed her things silently, just like Alice did. One evening, 7 p.m., I took my kids to go and give them a bath. I came out. I did not see Helen again. I looked for Helen everywhere. Helen had disappeared. The same process again. I had to go to the police station. I made a police report again. 2 days later, Helen's auntie called me. She had reached Jos. The third one, what's her name? Okay, Rebecca. Her own was that, her own just, I don't know, her own just shocked me, because her own happened one morning around 7:30 a.m. I went for school runs. Now, the funny thing is that morning, she just came, but she didn't spend up to a month. Just a few weeks. So that morning, I was going out for school runs. I saw her sweeping the stairs. And I told her, Rebecca, please, the fridge needs to be cleaned today. She said, yes, ma. Now after sweeping the stairs, I'm going to clean it this morning. I was like, okay. Then I had only 3 kids. Nano, The third baby was still a baby. She was about 8 months old then. So, and I always take her for school runs. I always take my babies for school runs. I don't leave them at home with the help. So that day I carried Nano as usual, and then we left for school. I came back. My security man opened the gate and came to tell me, madam, I don't know, this girl, oh, she just carried her bag, come out, oh, I don't even know when she come out. He just said that she told him that she distracted him. She sent him to the backyard. She told him that she doesn't know what she did to the pumping machine, that the pumping machine was no longer pumping water, that he should come and check it for her. So when he went to the back, she left. So when she left, it was the security man of the clothes, of our clothes, that now came to knock on our gate to tell my security man that this girl that just came left with her bag. Are you people aware of that? My security man was like, no, that he did not know. That this girl has left. So when I came back, he now came to tell me what happened. I now called the agent and told him that another one has gone. No, I don't know. She just left. So it now happened that she said she called the agents when she left and told him that she just found out she was pregnant and that she did not want to stay, that she felt I was going to be disappointed in her. You know, the thing is that when I get new helps, I run tests on them. I run HIV tests, hepatitis tests, and which other one again? But I don't run pregnancy tests because I'm like, it's pregnancy now, it's not sickness. So I did not run a pregnancy test, and then it turned out that she was pregnant. So she was ashamed, according to her, and then she now left. And one peculiar thing that I noticed is that those ones, out of all the helps that has lived with me, those ones that just get up and go are usually from Jos. Yeah, and most of my friends that have house helps from Jos, the same thing happens. They just get up and they go. They don't tell anybody. I don't know why they do that. Has it happened to you before? As in, have you ever had the house help from Jos? And how did she go? Now, that Helen, the second one I said, the one that I said I left my house around 7 p.m. Years later, I saw her on Instablog. Yeah, I saw her on Instablog. Guess what? They caught her that she carried her madam's baby. She was going with her madam's baby. They now caught her. She just, as in, her madam apparently went to work, and then she got up, packed her things, just like she did at my house. I just thank God she did not take my baby. The only thing she took from my house was my phone. The only thing she took that did not belong to her was one of my phones, the one that I gave to her. So she took it, and then I was like, is it not phone? She should take it and go, as long as she did not take my child. So I saw her on Instablog years later. She carried her madam's baby, and then they caught her. I was shocked. I was like, oh my God. Now, Glory was not the last help I had before leaving for the US. Glory was the best of them all. Like, in all my years of having a house help, there was nobody like Glory. Glory was amazing. Glory was the kind of person that anticipated my every need, my every move, everything, anything I needed her to do, or I needed her to do for me, before I opened my mouth to ask, it's done. That was the kind of person she was. As in, she was the one that, like my baby, Zite doesn't follow. When she was a baby, she did not like to follow anybody. Nobody. The only people she used to follow was apart from me, was her siblings and then my mom. Anybody else, she will cry. So this particular Glory came. From the very first day Glory came to the house and carried Zite, Zite never cried. Zite just loved her. Zite now became very attached to her. As in, I'm just trying to tell you how good she was. Like, I think she was just a pure soul. So this girl, she lived with me for, I think 6 months. 6 months. And then she had to go because she said she had kids. So she now had to leave. And then, do you know that before she left, she made sure that she tried her best to get me someone good like her. And when they come, if she doesn't like the person, she tells me not to take the person. And then when she saw that she couldn't really help me I was like, okay, don't worry, I'll get one on my own. She insisted on waiting till that person came so that she would teach the person a few things before leaving. So she waited. When the new girl came, she left, and she made sure that day she left, she cleaned everywhere. She made sure she did, as in she swept, she mopped, she made sure everywhere was spick and span before she left my house. The day Glory, when Glory left, I cried though. I will not even lie. I cried. I felt so bad. Like, even sometimes over here, I remember her and I'm just like, wow, Glory. She was the best of them all. Like, I really, really appreciated her. She was nice. She was really, really, really good. Even though she had faults, so she likes to drink. She used to drink and sometimes she gets a little bit drunk and she used to misbehave then, but she was still good. She was just a very nice girl. So these are the stories of all the house helps I've had not all of them, the ones I could remember. So I'll just advise you, if you're getting a house help, just pray hard about it before you get one. There are good ones out there, the same way there are the ones that steal from their madams and do all sorts of things, no matter how good you are to them. I see stories where a house help did something bad to madam's child or to the madam, and people will now come and start commenting that you are wicked to them. Why wouldn't they do this? It is a lie. Most of the time their madams are good to them, very good to them. They just choose to misbehave on their own, but some of them are still very nice. So just pray about it. If you feel you need a help, by all means get help, unless you're one of those that don't want to have for reasons best known to you. But if you feel you need one, get one, and get through a reliable agent. There are actually agencies, as in professional agencies in Lagos, that you can use to get help. These agencies that you pay an agency fee. Yeah, you pay them an agency fee. That agency fee, I think it usually covers the background investigation they need to do on the help, to know where the help lives and everything. Yeah, for you, they help you do that, and then they get the help to you. And then I think when you're paying the help, you pay directly to the agency, and then the agency takes their own percentage and then pays the remaining into the help's account. There's usually a policy surrounding such agreements, so it's just for you to find out the reliable and reputable agencies to use to get yourself domestic help, instead of just getting random ones. Because if you get a random one and they act up or they do something bad, most of the time you will not know where to get them. You won't know where to trace them to. So guys, have you ever had, if you've had a help that turned out good or turned out bad, if you have a story to share, please feel free to do so in the comment section. I would like to hear your stories. I would like to hear from you. So I've come to the end of this video. If you watched up till this point, thank you so much. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Don't lie. If you've not subscribed, please GCK, help me to subscribe before you go. And on your way out, rather, help me to subscribe. God bless you. So guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.